Howdy folks, this is Colin here from CADfoundations.com and welcome to the fifth in our video series on the basics of AutoCAD. So today we're going to be looking at the rotate, the fillet, and the chamfer tool. So without any further ado and with no more gilding the lily, let's get into it. So let's just start out with a rectangle here. Hey, come on you, rectangle. And let's start at 2,2. And let's take this up to 4,6. Okay. So we have our nice little rectangle friend here. And actually, I am thinking twice about where I've placed this, or, the orientation. I think I would rather have this in landscape mode as opposed to portrait mode. So let's go ahead and make an alteration to this. So we are going to meet a new tool called the rotate tool. It is right up here, or like always, you could type in rotate. And just like in our last video with the mirror tool and the copy tool and the stretch tool, you are going to select a point, any point. I find it's best to use a known point. For this example, let's go ahead and use this known point of our bottom right-hand corner. So we're going to click that corner, and using our snaps, we're just going to point straight down, or we could specify an angle of rotation. So I'm just going to put it straight down, or similarly with my keyboard, rotate U. Similarly, by just using my keyboard, I've selected my point and now I just want to rotate it 90 degrees. So it works the same either way. Either way, it yields the result of tilting our angle. So one more time, and I'll do it with our snaps this time, and we are good to go for this. So let's reuse a tool we learned last time out for a little bit of redundance, the copy tool. So let's grab it up here or type copy into our commands. And we have our rectangle selected. So let's just grab it by any point. I'll just pick this top midpoint here. And let's just go at 4 angle 90 to get that good and spaced out. And we need another one. So at 8 angle 90. And that is good to go. I am content with those. So our next couple of tools we're going to be learning here are the fillet and the chamfer tool. And they're both located right here. But first we're going to be using the fillet, which can be selected right here or by typing in, actually for this one you can just hit F, enter. Come on. Oh, no, sorry, F enter is fence. So just type in fillet. And the first time you're using a fillet, by default, it's going to give you a radius of 0. And that will do absolutely nothing if you click on the lines. So the first thing you need to do is specify a radius by typing R, enter, or clicking here down on radius. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And now it's going to ask you to specify that radius. So I would like a radius of 0.5. And I am happy with that. So to use this tool, all we have to do is click on the first line we want to use for our fillet and the second line. And that gives us a nice gentle round edge there. So I'm going to hit the enter key since fillet was the last thing I used. And now by default, it has a radius of 0.5. So I'm going to go ahead and use that radius of 0.5 one more time. So I'm going to hit enter. Oops, sorry. I already hit enter. So now I'm just going to click my 2 lines there, and that's going to give me a nice round filleted edge here. So now let's go ahead, and I would like to use the tool again, but I know that this side right here is 2 units long. So this time around, I want this to round out to a nice, perfect semicircle on this side. So I'm going to use a radius of 1. So R enter and 1 enter. And now that lets me use a radius of 1 and one more time, a radius of 1. So that gives us a nice semicircle. And it actually will not allow you to do a greater radius than is possible. So let me get rid of that. And for example, let's say R of 2. Let's say I wanted a radius of 2. And I click this line and see how it gave me that little cross symbol there? That is letting me know that that is not possible to be done. So I need to have a fillet with a radius of 1 or less to actually be able to do that. So R enter, 1 enter, and now I can get that second fillet done. And because I knew that distance, you can see that this is a perfectly round semicircle. So very useful in this scenario where we have known distances. So that's looking pretty good. And let's move up to our third little fella here. So for our third little fella, let's go ahead and let's use our chamfer tool, which again, you can type in chamfer, or you can select it by clicking the little arrow next to fillet, and it's hidden right there behind fillet. And now that we've done that, chamfer is up there by default until we change it back. But we want chamfer for now, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Now, chamfer also wants you to specify distances, so you can kind of do it just by clicking randomly, but that's not really the right thing to do. So we want to go ahead and we want to, this time around, let's go ahead and specify a distance. So we could hit D enter or click here. And just like on our last one, I'd like my first distance to be 0.5 and my second distance to also be 0.5. So now that we've done that, I can make a nice little chamfer there. So let's say, using the distance, we could also, so let's say D, and my first distance, I'll keep at 0.5, but my second distance, let's do 0.75, just to see how that looks. So my first line, which I should have a distance of 0.5 here, and my second line, you'll notice I now have a greater distance here. So my distance here is actually 0.75. And lastly, let's go ahead and let's just make a perfect little right angle here with our final curve. So fillet, and this time, oh, whoops. No, we want chamfer. So this time around, we're going to go ahead and use an angle. So it is going to ask us for the chamfer length of our first line. I know that that's 2 units and I want to make it a perfect angle. So I'm going to use it in its entirety. I'm going to type in 1, enter, and now it wants to know the angle. So I want to be cutting down at a perfect 45-degree angle. So I could have 2 45s, which will make a right angle for us. So I'm going to hit 45, and now I'm going to specify that line right there. So that is another way to do it. You could do it 2 distances. You could do it by angle. And from my experience, those are the 2 most useful ways to use it. So now let's close it off there, get our nice little right angle, and we are looking pretty good here. I'm pretty happy with our little drawing here. So let's go ahead and call it there for today. Again, keep practicing with these tools. Just draw something up, draw anything up, and then just practice these tools in the wild. It's pretty fun. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I genuinely hope you have a great day.